Monday, June 3. Japan will be the first to report on important economic events next week. At 2:50 a.m., the Ministry of Finance of the country will publish data on the capital spending. They show changes in the total value of capital expenditures of Japanese enterprises. Indicator values above the expected are considered favorable for the Japanese yen, and below the forecasted are negative. At 17 o'clock, the USA will report the ISM Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index. The final composite PM as a composite index based on 5 diffuse indices with equal weights. These are new orders, production, employment, shipments and inventories. A rise in the industrial PMI is usually positively reflected in the US dollar. Tuesday, June 4. On Tuesday, the focus for market players will be Germany and its unemployment rate report. It is expected at 10:55. Labor market figures are considered one of the most important indicators. However, they lag behind the real economic events by several months, i.e., they rather confirm the situation. Nevertheless, a decrease in the unemployment rate may have a positive impact on the euro. At 17 o'clock, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics will inform about the job openings. The calculation includes all vacancies in trade, manufacturing and office sectors that remain open on the last working day of the month. Economists use this report to analyze the country's labor market and characterize business cycles. Usually, an increase in job openings has a favorable effect on the dollar. Wednesday, June 5. On June 5 at 2 o'clock, South Korea will release GDP data. The report reflects the value of all goods and services produced in the country during the reporting quarter compared to the previous quarter. The calculation takes into account private consumption, government spending, corporate spending and the country's net exports. GDP growth may have a positive impact on the South Korean won. At 16:45, the Bank of Canada will decide on the interest rate. Depending on the prevailing inflation conditions, the regulator will either raise the interest rate, lower it or leave it unchanged. A change in the interest rate leads to short-term volatility in the Canadian dollar. If the rate increases, it has a favorable effect on the national currency. Thursday, June 6. On this day, the attention of market players will be focused on the EU. The European Central Bank will announce its interest rate decision at 15:15. In addition to the rate on deposit funds, the key interest rates of the regulator also include the refinancing rate and margin lending rate. A decline in this rate has a negative impact on the euro. At 17 o'clock, Canada will release the Purchasing Managers Index from Ivey. Respondents answer questions about whether purchasing, employment, inventories, supplies and prices in their sector improved, worsened or remained unchanged in the reporting month. The index provides operational information covering the entire manufacturing sector. A rise in the index may have a positive impact on the Canadian dollar. Friday, June 7. At 7:30, the Reserve Bank of India is expected to make its interest rate decision. The prime rate, or refinancing rate, is the interest rate at which the regulator provides short-term loans to the country's commercial banks. If at the announcement a bank's rate turns out to be higher than expected, it can be considered favorable for the Indian rupee. Eurostat will be the last to report in the coming week. The gross domestic product report is due at noon. It reflects the change in the total value of all goods and services produced in the Eurozone for the current quarter compared to the previous quarter. The value of goods and services used in intermediate production is excluded from the calculation. The increase in GDP may favorably affect the euro.